Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Scout.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Scout salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2.
Well, thank you, Abby from Troop 5400 and Aaron from Pack 353 for that opening flag ceremony. Well, welcome to the 2021 Atlanta Area Council Program Kickoff. My name is Graham Payne, and I am the Council Vice President of Program. Thank you for attending this kickoff today. Our goal is to provide you, our den leaders, our cub masters, our scout masters and assistants, committee members and unit commissioners, the tools and tips to help you plan a great program year for your scouts and families. I also want to thank the planning team that put this program kickoff together. Sybil Brinson, Kez Stadler, Travis Allen, Kim Tipton, Bert Bender, and Charity Drabick. There are also several panelists and breakout leaders who you'll hear from throughout the day who have volunteered their time to share some tips and ideas with us. And so thank you all. As I said, our goal today is to provide you with the tools and tips and techniques to help plan a great program for your unit that engages your scouts and their families. So let's briefly review our agenda. After this opening, we will hear from our Deputy Scout Executive, Jason Voles. Then we'll have a panel discussion that was led by a great scouter and good friend, John B. Smith. And then we will provide an overview of the various breakout sessions that are being held prior to adjoining to those breakouts. Now, there's no doubt that over the last 12 months, the times have been challenging, but I have been very encouraged and proud of how our scouting leaders and units have adapted and continued the scouting program. As we look forward, there's still some challenges, but we have learned how to safely scout in a pandemic. We have a good record of keeping scouts and families safe through the many protocols that we have adopted. And we have developed new ways to deliver scouting to address the needs of all families, including our Scouting on Demand initiative. And there's a growing confidence by families for participating in scouting programs again. Last weekend, we had 300 scouts and family members attend our Cub Scout Spring Family Camp at Burt Adams. And this, next weekend, we have over 750 registered to attend this similar camp at Woodruff Scout Camp. This summer, we have over 6,000 youth registered to attend summer camp at either Burt Adams or Woodruff Scout Camps. We know how to run a safe program, and we have a good record of keeping scouts safe. Now, as you develop your unit plan for the coming year, there's a lot of council and district activities that you can build into your program. Just to highlight a few, we have over 10 districts running Cub Scout day camps over the summer. We also have a cyber camp being run that will be available on demand throughout the summer. I'm very excited about a new initiative we have called Summer Family Outdoor Adventures. Virtually every weekend over the summer, there will be opportunities for you and your family to engage in activities such as rockets, hiking, fishing, cycling, and disc golf. We also have, as we move into the fall, we have spookeries and OA Trailblazer camps available. And then, of course, there are always the Scouting on Demand resources available through the Atlanta website, through Atlanta BSA website, and various other adventures that are being offered through the Scouting on Demand program. And then, of course, our districts will be running camporees and welcoming events throughout the fall. For our Scouts BSA program, we have merit badge summits occurring throughout the year. And of course, we have summer camp at both Woodruff and Bird Adams. As we look forward to next year, we have our Scout Challenge 2022 in March. And I'm very excited that we're going to be able to, this is our sort of 3-year camporee that we have every 3 years. It's going to be a great event, a great opportunity to bring all our scouting troops and venturing crews back together again in a council-wide event. And so very excited about that. And then, of course, we have just a ton of leader training available to help you and other leaders in your unit develop the skills that they need to deliver a great program. Now, all the information on these events and many, many more are included in the program guide that is now available on the Program Kickoff website on the council website. So as I close, I want to leave you with 3 key takeaways. Firstly, if your den, pack, or troop has not been meeting, please develop a plan to get back to regular meetings and activities, especially outdoor activities. You can do these safely. You will learn today about some of the tips and techniques that other units have used to get back to scouting safely. Consider these ideas and build them into your own program. And if you're not sure how to start, where to start, or need additional help, ask your unit commissioner, your district executive, or your district committee, and they're there to help you. The second takeaway is to attend and participate in the breakout sessions and listen to the recordings that will be shared following this program kickoff in the following week. But I'd like you to take it a step further. Not only listen to the breakout session recordings, but share those with another leader in your unit or in another unit and spread the word about some of the ways that we can get back to scouting. And then thirdly, please review the program guide available on the council website under the program kickoff page. See what's available and build those activities, district and council activities, into your own unit program calendar. But always check back onto the council website to get updates on events and dates. So thank you again for joining today, for your leadership and for everything that you do to deliver a great scouting program to our youth. It is now my pleasure to introduce Jason Voles, our Deputy Scout Executive, to share a few thoughts. Jason?
Thanks, Graham. Well, good morning, everyone. Wow, what an extraordinary time in our lives to be alive. There's a renewed sense of optimism for scouting, optimism for economies, and just optimism for life. Thank you for tuning in today to invest more time in scouting. I want to share something with you that happened yesterday. We're working with a team from Accenture to bolster our fall recruiting plan, and they're doing some focus groups with many of our leaders and parents. And we asked them what their main takeaway was from their focus groups, and they said they were really surprised with the dedication to our scout leaders and parents. Of course, Ben, George, Sean, and I, who are online, that was not a surprise to us, but to the staff from Accenture, they were pleasantly surprised with the dedication of many of you on the screen and many who aren't with us today. I'm a den leader with Pack 144, and I'm very familiar with the challenges over the last year. We recognize that it hasn't been easy to deliver a quality scouting program during the last 12 months. We know that scouting programs that used to be 60 scout leaders or 60 scouts with 15 leaders may now very well be 30 scouts and a handful of leaders. The good news is that scouts are hungry to get outdoors and they're excited to get back to scouting. This past weekend, I had a chance to participate in the spring family campout that Graham referenced, and with my son Gavin, who's a bear. We were the only ones from our pack or den who participated. However, we were on a campsite with several other scouts and families, so we had the chance to make lots of news. And I think Tina, you're going to share a few pictures from last weekend. go ahead and roll those if you would. It's a picture of church Sunday morning. I asked the scouts, and for each one of them, this was their first live faith experience. There's a nice picture with Faye. I didn't know she had such a way with llamas. As my son with the llama, they had a petting zoo on site. It was quite the hit. Lots of scouts were really eager to come and see the animals that were available. Lots of fun on the archery range. And an obstacle course complete with potato sack races. You should have seen the scouts' faces when they asked them to get in a potato sack. Many of them have never seen a potato sack before. And then capped it off on Saturday night with an awesome campfire overlooking the lake at Bird Adams, which was extraordinary. So there's much more fun right around the corner, and our scouts are voting by their choice to attend our events. We're really pleased with summer camp signups. You may be surprised to know that there's over 6,000 scouts signed up to go to Bird Adams or Woodruff this summer, which far exceeds all of our budgeted projections. We're really, really pleased with. So really my message is to hang in there, keep your scouting spirit bright, keep scouting simple and fun. It's our time to grow. I challenge you to be an active ambassador for scouting. Last fall, we had a really challenging fall recruiting campaign, and we're really looking forward to having more access to schools and scouts this fall. And we're going to need the help of everyone on this screen and all of our scout leaders to have a successful campaign. Thank you to our panelists today who have an outstanding program lined up. I'm looking forward to it. And now it's my duty to turn the program over to John Smith. He says that he's just a regular guy, but if you know John, you know that he's an extraordinary man. So John, take it away.
Hi there, Jason. Thank you so much. And hey, guess what? It's a great day for scouting. Everybody with me, where you are, it's a great day for scouting. Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me on the program. As you know, we're trying to jumpstart scouting activities again. Some of us in the past year had a pseudo successful year. We were either virtual or some of us pulled away and pressed the halt button. So right now we have a panel before us of several scouters who continued scouting even throughout the pandemic. And they're going to help us answer some of our questions that we might have regarding planning safe activities and meetings and jumpstarting scouting activities in general back again. And first of all, I'd like to introduce these panelists. First of all, we have Noelle Davenport. She's a committee chair and a new member coordinator and recruiter for her PAC, which is PAC 841 out of Northern Ridge District. Say hi, Noelle.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you, Noelle, for joining us. We also have Miss Mary Fletcher. She's a den leader of PAC 994 in Appalachian Trail District. Say hi.
Morning,
Mary.
everyone.
Great, and thank you. We have Jay Kapuzin, who's a Cup Master of PAC 277 with Foothills District. Say hi, Jay.
Morning, everyone. How y'all doing?
Great, great. We also have Kes Statler, who's a Scoutmaster of Troop 2019 of Foothills District.
It's a great day for scouting. Good to see everybody.
Awesome, awesome. I love it. We also have Mr. Walt Teague, who's the den leader of PAC 353 of Foothills District.
Good morning, everyone.
Great, great, great. Now, as we proceed with some questions and answers that we have here, we also encourage you, the participants, if you have some questions, you can type them into the chat window, and I have the lovely Miss Tina Kerr who will be helping us in fielding some of those questions. And the ones that we cannot get to, perhaps, we'll try to capture those, get some answers to you, and post them on our website, which is the program Kickoff website out of the Atlanta Area Council. Okay, great. All right, so now without further ado, we'll begin with some of the questions we might have. Tell me, panelists, what did you say to the parents to kind of convince your troops and your scouts to keep on scouting and to keep hiking, campouts, and the meetings on the outside or coming together even throughout the pandemic? Mary and Noel, do you have any response to that?
This is Mary from Pack 994, and at the beginning of the starting of the season, I kind of reminded my parents that this is like the year of the kids, the opportunities, and one of my main things is, we can meet safely, but the badge, you can only earn your bear, your wolf, your lion badge one time. Like, you can't go back in 2 years and earn it. So you have to kind of just stay with the program, and we'll get through the hurdles, but we can overcome it. And again, there's only that one opportunity to earn that lion or the bear or the wolf or whatever badge.
So this is Noelle from Pack 841. We were fortunate in that at the end of last year, when everything fell apart, we had already had in our plans to start a hiking club. So we actually started that in the summer when everyone started to feel slightly more comfortable. And we just set the standard from the beginning that everyone would wear their masks, even when we were outside on the trail. And we did that once a month so that by the time school started, even though we weren't going back face to face, we were able to say scouting never stopped, and really help. I mean, we basically didn't give the option of dropping out, even though we did have a lot of people drop out. We just were full force ahead and trying to be encouraging and have everyone wear their masks and follow all of the guidelines that the CDC had put in place.
Wonderful, thank you. And we appreciate everything you guys have done to keep scouting going. And we noticed that we all heard you both say that you kept face masks, hand sanitizer, and those sort of things, and socially distance yourselves. Did you have any reluctance from the scouts, cubbies, or the troop scouts in participating in the activities, and did they adhere to the safety policies? Kes.
Yes, hey, everybody. Thanks, John. I can say from the troop standpoint, early on, we decided to start meeting at a park because our chartered org would not let us meet on church grounds. They said they were fine to let us meet. We went to them with our plan. The girls came up with a plan for temperature checks and registration and distancing. And the scouts kind of took ownership. The SPL ran the charge on that. And we met at the parks until the church said you're now able to meet at the pavilions. So we've been meeting there ever since. And when they let us in the building, that'll be our next step. But we didn't really have much reluctance from the scouts, a few parents. But once we sent an email to the entire troop showing them what our protocol was and still is, that relieved their fears. And we also encouraged them to know that we still have Zoom meetings. We meet in person, but we offer the Zoom meeting at the same time. So anyone that's nervous or can't make it to a meeting, or maybe has homework, they can still catch up with us on a Zoom meeting. So we even did that Tuesday night. So I think that is key, is to offer both options moving forward. That way the scouts have no excuse for why they can't get to a meeting, and make it easy for them. So that's my thought on it, John.
Wonderful, thank you. And thank you for having both programs as an option, being able to do virtual and in person. That is awesome. Also noticed that you mentioned the temperature checks and how you probably did a pre-screening and probably a post-screening and probably in the middle screening as well, checking out temperatures and making sure everybody felt well, no fevers and that sort of thing. That's critical also in the scouting policy as well. What sort of roadblocks did anyone have in participating, and how did you overcome those, and did you have any solutions? Mary, did you have any issues there?
Our biggest road marks were, again, the not being able to meet at the chartered rep. So we would have to meet at a local park, and then it would be raining, so we kind of have to cancel last minute. So that was like a big roadblock for us. And a lot of our activities too, we're not able to do because we can't go to the fire station. So we're kind of also having to, do different things to meet our requirements, as a lot of stuff is still closed. But again, I think the most important thing is the kids love each other. And that's, to me, what it's about, is their friendships. They look forward to Monday night coming to see their Cub Scouts, and, you become family. That's what it's about, is family and friends.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. How'd you handle the chartered organizations? Did they want you to meet? Did you have to compromise any? Walt, Jay?
Well, with mine, charter org, yes, they want us to meet, but they gave us the option to either meet virtually or face to face. As the actual Cub Master for PAC 277, I told the parents and my scouts that I am going to be more of a outdoors type Cub Master. So yeah, when I told my charter org that we are going to meet a lot more outside, doing more hikes, meeting in the park, so forth and so on. Yeah, he was gung ho and say, hey, yeah, go ahead, just follow the actual guidelines and make it safe for everyone. And that's what we did. We followed the actual guidelines, 6 feet away, hand washing, temperature checks, and yeah, that's how I actually got got through the actual 6-7 months of scouting. It's just we just kept it easy. We communicated with my charter org, the church that my PAC's actually with, and the troop. We actually have Troop 277 that's actually within the church. And yeah, we just communicated, let them know what we're doing, and we stayed safe and had fun.
Wonderful. Thank you. Communication is key on all levels. Very important. Thank you so much. And what are some tips would you have for planning an outing? It might be a little bit different, let's say, from prior to COVID and everything. Noel, Walt, any ideas?
Well, some of the things I mean, it was a very unconventional year to begin with, and we kind of accepted that and embraced it and kind of ran with it. So, before we were always meeting our charter organization, so we kind of embraced the idea of let's get outdoors, let's just do things a little differently, and so we really I try to look for locations that were conveniently close to where we used to meet our charter organization and close to where all the parents live. So we have, thankfully, we're blessed with plenty of parks around, pavilions, had playgrounds, which was always a nice break for the Scouts days. I think that encouraged them to come early, actually, because they want to play the playground and just really get outdoors. And, we found that to be a more enriching program. We always made sure that, we followed the guidelines from the state of Georgia and the CDC when it comes to, make sure you're self-checking or if you're self-quarantining, just to skip the meeting. I encourage them on anything that they miss. They can always do at home with their families. And also I always had plenty of hand sanitizer. Everyone wore the masks, but we just got outdoors more, and it just wound up being more enriching year this year.
Thank you.
We definitely had to take weather into account and have a backup plan. We had to reschedule our overnight this year because we had originally planned to be in Charleston in the battleship, and knowing that you can't really sleep in a tin can during COVID, we found an alternative where we could camp outside for our flagship event. But then we had thunderstorms, so we ended up postponing that. I think we had planned almost every single PAC meeting was outside, and after a very freezing December PAC meeting, we decided to move the January one to Zoom, which was great. We had to plan ahead for individual, anytime we were going to eat, everything had to be individually packaged. So instead of having a banquet at the Blue and Gold, we ordered special cupcakes that were each packaged in their own plastic container. And when we went camping in the fall, we had the people who were assembling the s'mores were wearing gloves in addition to masks. So I think it all just comes down to your dedicated committee, a committee that's really set on maximizing the Scouts experiences and being super creative and just brainstorming different ideas.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And, now I noticed something that both of you said, all of you on the panelists, and it kind of summarizes things. If I say this old familiar phrase about scouting, keep the what in scouting, keep the outing
Mm.
in scouting. So, long ago, most of the meetings, I wasn't a scout when I was younger, but I hear from a lot of friends that they met outside all the time, not only in campouts, but even had their meetings. So this kind of encourages to, hey, take people on the outside and have their meetings there. Thank you so much. What are some of the guidelines you set in addition to the BSA guidelines, or some of the BSA guidelines you want to mention here? Jay, I know you'll have a breakout session talking about some of these items. Are there a couple that you can throw out right now for us?
Yeah, just keep it simple. Follow the guidelines. Just wash your hands. Wear the mask, and throughout your meeting or your activity, just get some of the hand sanitizers and just sanitize the kids' hands. They're kids. They're hands on. They'll be touching everything. So just sanitize your hands and let them have fun.
Right. Mary, anything from you?
Basically, yeah, just keep the mask on. And, honestly, I mean, if we're outside, I mean, I'm okay with the kids taking them off their mask if they're outside, because to me, that kind of is a little bit of a deterrent for some kids and some families. So, I mean, if they're outside far enough, I mean, let's kind of let them be kids a little bit too, and let them, breathe.
Kes, did your meeting structure change? And if so, what changed?
Honestly, for us, it didn't change much. It's just when we first went to the park meetings, the SBL and the PLC went around and put tripods all over the place. So they had the Zoom meeting from different angles. So it was almost like a TV production, and the SBL would walk around during the breakouts or skills portion and hand a microphone to somebody so the people could hear it online. I will tell you, John, getting back to, we've heard a lot on the Cub Scouts, for on the Scouts BSA side, when we first started camping in August, we wouldn't allow, no carpooling. We had to keep it close, like I think Walt mentioned, so the Scouts could be picked up and dropped off. And we used the outing events as a great recruiting tool. We just went to Aquatic Space in March, and we had some families that said, well, I want to come, but I have a 4th grade daughter that wants to come. Can she come, and can she tent with her best friend? And so we talked to the parents and we worked it out. I mean, right now is a chance to rope these young kids in and get them outdoors, like you said. So we had to kind of change things up a little bit. For food, for example, on campouts, early on, we were doing backpacking style. We did silver turtles Saturday night. We're not doing combined KP right now, but we have, as a troop, our meetings have changed, and the Scouts said they want to get back to patrol cooking. So we allowed that on our last campout, but only one cook and one assistant. They had to have a mask, they had to wear gloves, and we did disposable products so we keep the KP down. I think as we start to camp again, that's going to be key, is do it safely and have a plan in place. And the Scouts were policing themselves. They were good about reminding each other, keep your distance. Have you washed your hands lately? That sort of thing. So it hadn't changed that much because we try to keep it the way it should be. It's just we have to use technology with Zoom to make it happen now. So a little different.
And what ideas do the panelists have here to keep the Scouts and the parents engaged during this period? Noel, Jay, any ideas?
Well, with mine, I kept my leaders and my parents involved. Always get them involved. Ask them what they feel comfortable doing. Do they feel comfortable doing a hike? Do they feel comfortable having our Pinewood Derby outside or inside? Get their input. Once you get their input, then apply it to your activities. Because if you just decide to do it yourself, most parents will either get offended or not feel safe, and they're not going to come. So a good communication and input from the parents is the key to get them engaged to do the activities, to do the meetings, to do the activities that we want to do as a Scout.
One thing that our pack does is each rank level has an event that they're responsible for the year. So for us, the Pinewood Derby is planned and executed by the Wolf parents. So we just tell them it's your turn. This is how it's been done in the past. These are the guidelines. This is the budget, and then let them run with it. So our Tiger parents coordinated scouting for food. Our We Below parents coordinate the Blue and Gold banquet. So that's helpful to keep them engaged. Yeah.
Now, I have a question here from the audience, from the participants. Noel, how many scouts do you have in your unit?
We have 46, and that is.
Did you say 46?
46, yes.
46. Wow. Did
But
most of them participate? About
yes,
how many participated? Half or 80%?
So we probably get about 70% of a turnout this year at anywhere from 60 to 70% at PAC meetings. We have a much more dedicated group, I would say, since the numbers dropped. So like another thing that we always have to do during this pandemic is encourage each other as leaders. And as the new member recruiter, I would feel like so let down when we didn't get very many people in the fall, or when people don't turn out to things that you've put a lot of heart and soul into. And our Cub Master is constantly reminding us that he would rather have a smaller group of really dedicated people that continue to show up regularly than a huge pack and just numbers and people that don't come to things. So
great. Yeah. I want to go through quickly everybody and ask them about how many scouts they had in their unit and about what percentage participated. Mary, how about you?
Our unit definitely went down this year. We just have we just recruited a new lion. We have one tiger den. We have 7 wolves and 1 bear. So unfortunately this year we've kind of all had to just come together in one big group, and you're kind of having to do a mini lesson with a lion, a mini lesson with a bear. But again, it's just like she said, we have a small pack, but hopefully we can grow it with the new recruiting. But it's just staying together and dedicated. I mean, we spent all of our scouts except 2 went to the zoo this past Saturday night, and that was an absolute awesome event.
Sounds good. Thank you. And same thing for Jay.
Yeah, I got 18 Cubs in my pack right now. And for the meeting, I would say almost everyone, 95% actually does the den meetings and the pack meetings.
John, real quick for us, Troop 2019, and before COVID, we got as big as 55 girls. I think we were on the largest in the nation. Then COVID hit and we went down to 32 for recharter, and now we're back up to 41. Had 2 girls visit and join Tuesday night, and the girls are contacting me and saying, I've got a friend that wants to visit. Is that okay? I'm like, of course, bring them on. So, enthusiasm by the leaders will trickle down to the scouts, and then they'll bring their friends.
We have 2 questions from our participants, John.
Okay.
One is good.
I'll let you go ahead and ask those out. You go right ahead. Perfect. Thank you, Tina.
We'll start with this one, and this is for the whole panel. Recruitment and retention. What have you done to outreach to scouts who may have dropped? And what kind of new recruitment efforts are you making, and how are you doing that outreach?
Panel, you feel free to answer.
It's a tough question, right? How are you reaching those scouts that may have dropped? And then how are we reaching out to do new recruits? So Cass, how are you getting your girls back up to 41?
I think a lot of it is scouting is outing. We did shooting sports weekend a month ago, and the girls heard about it. When they know we're going camping to Altoona, they tell their friends, having lots of energy. And the girls that dropped off because of COVID, we kept them engaged with Zoom, and they're slowly starting to trickle back in. We've got several girls and families that said, we're watching through Zoom, and when it's safe and completely safe to come back, we're back in. So I think just keeping in touch with them, sending them emails, having a strong Facebook page and things like that, so they can go and see what they may have missed, has been very beneficial for us. We've got girls driving from Canton, Powder Springs, Roswell, Kennesaw, just because they want a program. They want Scouts BSA, and the same for the boys. So we just need to offer that program, and it's marketing. Just constantly remind them we're here and we'd love to have them.
Fantastic. What about on the Cubs side?
I would agree. Social media is super important as a tool for recruitment and retention. So we just had our spring recruitment, and our school has a Facebook page, just a PTO Facebook page. There's also a new page created every year for rising kindergartners. So I definitely used that. We had a parent who put together just a 90-second little video slideshow of all the activities that we did this year. And I emailed the media specialist at school and had her air this like 90-second ad basically during virtual school this week when we were all stuck at home for 3 days. The kids had the opportunity to see that video during morning announcements. And then that same video was posted on our school's Facebook page. So not to the public, but just to that group.
Fantastic. That is awesome.
Is Josh on by any chance? Is Josh?
He is. Matt Rendall is also on.
Oh, okay. Matt and Josh, hopefully you're off mute. They are wonderful leaders in the council. We have a question about summer camp and even winter camp when it comes around to that time. And how will that be handled with multiple units coming together and the social distancing and the contact and proximity, that sort of thing? How will that be handled?
Yeah, absolutely. I can certainly speak to that.
you.
I'm actually at Woodruff right now, as you can see. I'm near the Nunn building, so pretty excited to be up at Woodruff this weekend, getting ready for summer camp. On both of our summer camp pages, both for Woodruff and Bird Adams, we've got, I'll say, our draft COVID plans right now, and those are available so people can peruse them. Certainly there's some questions about what the governor's orders are going to change to and what our local regulations are going to be, so we're going to keep staying flexible on those. But this summer, we're planning to, certainly have a great summer camp and do it as safely as we certainly can, in line with those COVID guidelines. Some of the things we're looking at is like moving our lunches outside like we did for winter camp. So it'll be kind of more of a grab and go model, which is kind of great. And it went really well at winter camp, helping people stay distanced, and then looking at having a robust cleaning schedule and some of that stuff. But those plans will hopefully answer some of your questions. And certainly there's some unknowns factoring in there that we're really hoping to get guidance from the local health departments in the next month or so as we start putting the final touches on those.
Thanks, Matt.
Much, Matt. And I want to thank the panelists. I think my time is up. I hope that was some wonderful information for everyone who's involved on this Zoom. Share this information with others. There'll be more information and guidelines on our council website. So feel free to jump back into scouting, and let's keep it all safe. And we will, like everybody says, we will scout through this together, right?
So we are about to go into our breakouts, everyone. Here's the list of breakouts, and here's our list of presenters for the Cub Scouts and Plan Your Best Year Ever. We've got Bert Bender with George Snipes hosting. For Scouts BSA and Plan Your Best Year Ever, we have Kes Stadler with myself, Tina Kerr, hosting. We have Scouting Safely with COVID. That will be run by Nick Adams, or one of our Rangers, with Josh Kirkham hosting. We have Trained Leaders Equals Successful Units. That will be run by Lee Miller, hosted by Stephanie Daniels. Demystifying Scout Book will be run by Chuck Pollock, with Charity Drabick hosting. And the game of Commissarity, Commissioners Helping Units Succeed, will be run by Kim Tipton and hosted by Radafi Fears. So thank you all for joining us on our opening this morning. If you have several breakouts you want to join, we will have them recorded. They will be available on this website at atlantabsa.org under the program kickoff section. and they will be posted there later next week. So we will close out this section and move over to our breakouts. Give us about 5 minutes to get those breakouts open. Thank you, guys.
Click on those links. Remember to click on the links.
Yep, click on the link. So if you go to this AtlantaBSA.org program-planning, you can get to each of these links. Thanks all.